understand the significance of Darth Bane? Do you grasp the depths of his legacy? No, you do not. Darth Bane was no ordinary Sith Lord. He was a force of nature, a being of unparalleled power and vision. We are many. He was but one. Throughout the history of our Dark Order, many names echo through the corridors of time, but few resonate as powerfully as that of Darth Bane. He was not just a Dark Lord. He was the savior of the Sith, a visionary who saw through the shadows of our infighting and paved a way for our resurgence. His life is a beacon of power, discipline, and ruthless wisdom. Born in a time when the Sith were numerous and our dominion spread across the galaxy, Bane witnessed firsthand the perils of our own greed and internal strife. From humble and harsh beginnings, Bane's rise was marked by struggle and pain. His early years were spent as a miner on a desolate world of Apatros, where he toiled under the oppressive regime of the Republic. This brutal and unforgiving existence forged within him a deep well of resentment and a thirst for power. It was in these dark, unforgiving minds that Bane first touched the raw power of the dark side. Untrained and wild, his abilities manifested in fits of rage and survival instinct, marking him as someone destined for greatness beyond the dirt and grime of Apatros. Driven by an unquenchable thirst for power and revenge against those who had wronged him, Bane left Apatros behind, seeking out the Sith Empire. His journey led him to the Brotherhood of Darkness, where he would begin his formal training in the dark arts. Within the Brotherhood, Bane quickly distinguished himself. His raw power and unrelenting drive set him apart from his peers. Yet, even amidst the Brotherhood, he saw the seeds of our downfall. The Brotherhood of Darkness was formidable, a coalition of Sith Lords united under a common banner. At its zenith, the Brotherhood was nearly equal in number to the Jedi Order, and their domination spread across the galaxy. However, this unity was but a fragile illusion, masking the inherent flaws that would lead to its downfall. Under the leadership of Lord Khan, the Brotherhood sought to overthrow the Jedi and establish Sith rule across the galaxy. They waged a relentless war, bringing chaos and destruction wherever they went. But beneath this facade of strength lay a cancer of infighting and treachery. Each Sith Lord, driven by their own lust for power, sought to outdo the others, weakening the very foundation of their cause. Darth Bane, a promising warrior within the Brotherhood, quickly rose through the ranks due to his raw power and strategic mind. Yet, even as he fought alongside his fellow Sith, he saw the folly in their ways. The very nature of the Brotherhood. It emphasizes on collective power and unity. Contradicted the core tenet of the Sith, the pursuit of individual strength and dominance. Bane immersed himself in the study of the ancient Sith teachings. He realized that the true path to Sith supremacy lay not in numbers, but in the purity of the dark side. The Brotherhood structure, with its power-hungry lords, was inherently flawed. It was this epiphany that set him on a path to revolutionize the Sith Order. The example of the Brotherhood's flawed philosophy was on the Battle of Ruusan. On this mid-rim planet, the Brotherhood faced the Jedi in a series of brutal confrontations. As the war raged on, Bane observed the consequences of their internal strife. The Brotherhood, weakened by their own greed and distrust, was no match for the unified and disciplined Jedi. In a desperate bid for victory, Lord Khan devised a final, catastrophic weapon: the Thought Bomb. This dark side ritual, intended to annihilate the Jedi, required the combined power of the Sith Lords. Bane, recognizing the folly and madness of such a plan, vehemently opposed it. Yet, his warnings fell on deaf ears. The Thought Bomb was unleashed, resulting in the utter destruction of both the Jedi and the Sith forces. In the devastating wake of the Thought Bomb, Bane emerged as the sole survivor. He witnessed firsthand the annihilation wrought by the Brotherhood's hubris. This event solidified his belief in the necessity of a new Sith doctrine, one that would prevent such folly from ever occurring again. Thus, the Brotherhood of Darkness, a once mighty but ultimately flawed assembly, was no more. From its ashes rose Darth Bane. Darth Bane stood alone, the last surviving Sith Lord. It was in this solitude that he conceived a revolutionary idea. An idea that would forever change the Sith. The rule of two. There should be two. No more, no less. One to embody power, and the other to crave it. Bane's vision was rooted in the ancient Sith philosophy, but was a radical departure from the practices of his predecessors. He recognized that the infighting and treachery amongst the numerous Sith Lords had been their undoing. The strength of the dark side was diluted by greed and power struggles of many. Bane sought to concentrate his power, ensuring that Sith would grow stronger with each generation. In his quest for knowledge, Bane unearthed the holocron of Darth Revan, an ancient Sith Lord who had foreseen the same pitfalls. Revan's teachings resonated deeply with Bane, affirming his belief that a singular focus of power was essential. Thus, Bane formulated the rule of two, mandating that there should only be two Sith at a time, a master to hold the power, and an apprentice to covet it. The rule of two was not just a decree, but a practical strategy for survival and resurgence of the Sith. The master would embody the dark side's power, teaching the apprentice all they knew. The apprentice, driven by ambition, would seek to surpass the master. Only by defeating the master could the apprentice prove their worth, ensuring that only the strongest and most cunning would lead the Sith. The perpetual cycle of betrayal and succession would purify the Order, honing the Sith into an unstoppable force. To put his theory into practice, Bane took on an apprentice, a young and powerful Force-sensitive named Zana. She embodied the potential he sought. Under Bane's brutal and demanding tutelage, Zana grew in power and skill, all the while knowing that her destiny was to one day challenge and surpass her master. This dynamic ensured that the Sith's strength would grow exponentially over time. Bane and Zana's relationship exemplified the essence of the rule of two. It was a bond forged in the dark side, tempered by ambition and the relentless pursuit of power. This new Sith philosophy was not just about survival. It was about ultimate dominance. Bane's rule of two ensured that the Sith would no longer be their own worst enemies, but a focused and lethal force, ready to reclaim their rightful place in the galaxy. The creation of the Rule of Two marked the dawn of a new era for the Sith. No longer would they be scattered and divided. Under Bane's doctrine, we became a shadowy menace, striking from the darkness with unmatched precision and power. With the Rule of Two firmly established, Bane and his apprentice, Darth Zana, began laying the groundwork of the grand plan. The Sith would no longer seek immediate conquest through sheer force. Instead, they would work in the shadows, manipulating events and sowing the seeds of discord to weaken the Republic and the Jedi from within. Bane's grand plan was a masterstroke of patience and cunning. He understood that the Sith's downfall had always been their impatience and overt aggression. Therefore, the new Sith Order would adopt new tactics: espionage, political manipulation, and economic sabotage. Over generations, the Sith would infiltrate the highest echelons of power, eroding the Republic's stability and the Jedi's influence. Through the centuries, each Sith master and apprentice contributed to this grand scheme. Each generation grew more powerful, more cunning, and more adept at hiding their true nature. The Jedi, blinded by their hubris, believed the Sith to be extinct, while in reality, we were always there, lurking in the shadows, preparing for our inevitable return. The strength of Bane's legacy lay in the cycle of power he had created. Each Sith apprentice, driven by the dark side's ambition, would eventually confront and surpass their master. This ensured that only the strongest and most worthy Sith would rise to power, perpetuating a lineage of unparalleled strength and cunning. This brutal cycle was both the crucible and the forge of the Sith's enduring power. The accumulation of the grand plan was seen in the rise of Darth Sidious, known publicly as Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. Through his masterful manipulation of the Clone Wars, he orchestrated the fall of the Republic and the Jedi Order, declaring himself Emperor and transforming the Republic into the Galactic Empire. This was the pinnacle of Bane's vision. A Sith ruling the galaxy, their enemies broken and shattered. Order 66, the extermination of the Jedi, was the final act of his grand design. The Sith, after centuries of careful planning and manipulation, had achieved their vengeance. The Jedi, guardians of the light, were decimated, and the Sith's dark rule began. However, as powerful as Sidious became, the Rule of Two ensured that his reign would not last forever. Bane's teachings emphasized the inevitability of conflict between master and apprentice. He knew that one day, Darth Zana would challenge him, as was the way of the Rule of Two. This was the ultimate test of his apprentice's legacy. The confrontation between Bane and Zana took place on the desolate planet of Umbria. Here, in the shadow of the dark side, the two Sith engaged in a battle that would determine the future of the Sith Order. The ground trembled with the force of their blows, and the air cracked with dark energy. Bane fought as a warrior of unmatched strength and skill, fought with the ferocity of a cornered beast. Zana, with her mastery of Sith sorcery and cunning, proved a formidable opponent. The duel was fierce, with both combatants pushing their abilities to the limit. In the end, it was Zana who emerged victorious, Her cunning and mastery of the dark side proved superior, and she struck down Darth Bane, claiming the mantle of Sith Master for herself. Bane's death was not a failure, but a fulfillment of his vision, a testament to the power and resilience of the rule of two. After his death, Bane's remains were entombed on Moribund, the ancient homeworld of the Sith. His sarcophagus, inscribed with the runes of the Sith language, stands as a monument to his enduring legacy. It is said that his spirit haunts the tomb, a fiery specter that reminds all who visit of the dark power he yielded. Darth Bane's vision continued to shape the Sith Order for centuries. His rule of two ensured that the Sith grew ever stronger, culminating in the rise of Darth Sidious and Darth Vader. Under Sidious, the Sith achieved their ultimate goal, the destruction of the Jedi and the establishment of the Galactic Empire. Yet, the Sith's victory was short-lived. The dark side is relentless, and while the Empire fell, the teachings of Darth Bane persisted. The rule of two and the grand plan left an indelible mark on the galaxy, influencing events long after Bane's death. The story of Darth Bane is a testament to the will and power and vision of the dark side. His legacy endures, a beacon to all Sith who follow. Remember, a true power lies not just in might, but in the cunning and patience to wield it. The dark side is eternal, and so too is the legacy of Darth Bane.